Hello everyone, it's me, Lamer Gamer. Hope you're all doing well. Now today I'm bringing you a tool tale guide on one I've been very excited to do for you. Now this video might be slightly longer than my normal videos because this tool tale is no ordinary tool tale. To tell you what it is, I better go outside and cue the epic music. We've arrived in the Shores of Gold. That's right, today's tool tale is the walkthrough and 100% completion guide on that tool tale, Shores of Gold, where we'll be slaying the gold hoarder and finding all of the journals that you need to collect to complete this tool tale 100%. Now remember, I am a member of the Sea of Thieves creator crew, so sail on over there to see all the other content I've posted. I also stream regularly on Twitch, and you can find me on all the other popular social media platforms. If you've enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the little bell so that you know every time I post a new video. Now, let's set sail for the Shores of Gold. Now with all the epic music out of the way, we need to first sail to Morrow's Peak Outpost, where we're going to need to head up towards the tavern and find the tool tale journal next to Grace on the wagon. Once you've voted for the tool tale, it will begin, and Grace will give you a bit of background into the story. Once you're on your boat, you will receive the shroud breaker, which will be very lovingly tied to the front of the helm. From Morrow's Peak, you'll need to head north towards the shrouded area, the Shores of Gold. While sailing there, you may as well start looking through the journal you received in your quest items and familiarise yourself with both the map and the vault hints, as these will come in very handy once you've reached the Shores of Gold. After heading north for a short while, you'll start to hit the shroud. However, in the distance you may even be able to see the Shores of Gold using your telescope. As you get closer to the shroud breaker will glow, and more gemstones will light the closer you get to the Shores of Gold, giving you a good indication that you're on the right path. And don't worry, everything turns red for everyone, so you're not dying just yet. The closer you get, the more funky stuff that will happen to your ship and the shroud breaker. For instance, this big red light. Once you've got this big red light on the front of your boat, you're pretty close to the island. So I would suggest keep taking multiple trips to the front of the boat to make sure that you're not going to crash. If you sail in this direction long enough, you will eventually hit the Shores of Gold and greeted by this amazing music. Now, let's loot some vaults. You have to use the map that is in your quest inventory to locate all 4 vaults in the island, complete the tasks, and take the medallions you earn from each one to the compass vault. Now, as I was on the south side of the island, the closest vault to me was the southern vault, the Shark Vault. You can identify the vault by the markings on the wall outside of the vault. Use the journal in your quest inventory to figure out how to solve this vault. In this case you have 3 sets of symbols, however you only have 3 pillars. So in this case you have to match 3 of the symbols from each diagram to solve the riddle. You have to do this 3 times while the room is filling with water, and eventually you'll get the shark totem. Once you've retrieved the shark totem, bring it back to your boat. I recommend doing this, especially if you're playing on your own like I was, so it's easy to keep track of all the medallions. The next vault I tackled was the one on the eastern side of the island, which is the one for the warrior. Once again, refer to your journal for how to complete the vault. But essentially, to complete this vault successfully, there's a giant flag with a key on it in the centre of the room. Once you've lit all 4 braziers, you will then have to use the pillars in the room to replicate that picture of the key. It's pretty straightforward as long as you remember the start of the key or the big round bit is to the far right. Once you've done this and entered the solution, you will receive the warrior medallion. Once you've collected the warrior medallion, bring it back to your boat and head towards the next vault. In this case, I headed to the vault on the north side of the island, which is the one for the Kraken medallion. I would suggest reading your journal guide before you head into this vault, because there are a few surprises that you might want to be aware of before you start. Now, my suggestion for starting this vault is to light the braziers while stood on the altar in the centre of the vault. As you can see, there are spikes everywhere, and if you get caught by one of them, you'll have to start the vault all over again. Now we know what we're dealing with, the solution to this vault is quite straightforward, providing there were no spikes on the floor. But to complete the vault, you have to match the symbols on all 4 pillars. There are numerous places in this vault that you can hide from the spikes, so it's not too bad as long as you time your jumps correctly. Once you've managed to do this, you will receive the Kraken medallion. Collect the medallion, and as you guessed it, return to the ship with it to get the 4th and final medallion. Now, the boat vault requires a lot of walking. Once you've lit all 4 braziers, look into the pool in the middle of the altar in the centre of the room. There you will see the map of the island, along with 4 circles with numerous dots in them. The circles represent a location of where you can find a symbol, and the dots represent which order they need to be put on the pillars in the room. These also tie up with the locations of the question marks found on the map in your quest journal. Now, here's how to find the symbols. The first symbol can be found next to the shipwreck on the east side of the island. To reveal it, you just have to flick 2 of the switches either side of the main statue. In this case, it showed us the shark symbol. The next symbol can be found in the ruins on the north side of the island. Once you're there, you'll need to head down the stairs and flick the switch to the left. A stone wall will drop, but not completely. However, it is enough to show you the location of the statue that you need to stand on the pressure pad to reveal the symbol you need. In this case, we got fire. The next symbol we're going to go for is this one, on the far east side of the island, opposite the warrior vault. To reveal this symbol, you need to stand on a pressure pad and look out towards the warrior vault. There you will see a stone appear in the middle of the water. This time we have the Kraken symbol. With 3 of the 4 symbols, it's quite easy to solve the final vault. However, I will show you how to get the 4th and final symbol, which requires some quite quick movement on our part. To do this, you have to stand on the pressure plate here and move as quickly as you can to get to the symbol on the other side of the island. As the moment you step off the pressure plate, the symbol descends into the ground again. So here goes my attempt. And once I'd gone around this stone pillar, I could see that the symbol I needed was the turtle. Once back at the final vault, make a note of the order and number of symbols you need, and then complete the vault. Once you've collected the final medallion, you now need to take all the medallions to the compass vault as shown on the map. There are 2 ways you can do this. After leaving the boat vault, you can take this route to make it on foot. The journey is a little bit longer as you're doing it on foot and you can't sprint. However, if you're doing it with a crew of 3 or 4, it can be quite easy to do. Once at the compass vault, insert the medallion into the big mechanism in the centre and then bring the other 3 to the same place. Option number 2 is to bring your boat to this location on the island, where you will actually find a small ladder to help you transport the medallions to the vault, which I found a lot easier as I was sailing in a 1-man crew. Insert the remaining medallions and then collect the gold hoarder coin that will be revealed to you on your left. The next part of this tall tale requires some very good cannon skills and some aerial acrobatics, where you'll have to sail to this point on the island, jump in a cannon and fire yourself out and land on one of the giant throned statues. The statue we want to aim for is the one that's missing a head on the left hand side as you look at the big row of statues. I would suggest lowering the anchor on the boat to stop the boat rocking and moving around after firing the cannon. And after several attempts, I finally landed the shot. Once you've successfully landed on the statue, you're going to need to drop down the hole that is in the centre of it. Once down there, you need to pull the lever to the left of the door, which will then open the door to allow you to enter it with the gold hoarder's coin. Retrieve the gold hoarder's coin and bring it to the mechanism in front of the door. Once the door is opened, you'll need to go in and turn right and make your way down the damaged staircase. Once you've entered the first room, you'll have to turn left and head down the tunnel full of spikes. Be careful, because once you get hit by these, you will die instantly and have to start this section again. Once you've made it through, give the bell a little ring, just for fun. And then you have to do some Sea of Thieves parkour, where you'll have to traverse some beams. And eventually you'll make your way here, to where you'll have to try and traverse these masts. Now, to straighten up the mast, you need to raise the anchor and slowly balance your way across them like this. Once you've made it across here, you then need to carry on up the trail, past the big swinging skeletons of death, over the spike pit. Once in the next room, you'll have to fight some more skeletons. You'll know the skeleton wave is near the end by fighting one of these. Once they've been killed, raise the capstan further on down to enter the next door. Then you have to dodge more swinging blades of death. Once through there, you'll enter another room where you'll have to kill multiple skeletons again. Once again, look for the main skeleton boss, who will be the signal for the end of the wave. Once you've killed this skeleton, once again, you need to raise the anchor to open the door. Once the door's open, mind the spinning blades on the floor, so time your steps carefully. And then you will enter this room, where you will have to pull 3 levers to open the door at the top. But mind your step in this room, because standing on the broken boards on the floor will trigger spikes to appear, which will once again instantly kill you. Here are the 3 levers. Once you've made it through this room and pulled all 3 levers, continue to follow the trail until you reach another anchor. Once you're here, you're then going to have to turn the anchor and lower the bridge. Once this has been lowered, you are now in the throne room of the gold hoarder, who you can see sat on the throne at the opposite end of the room. All you have to do now is kill him. He is quite a difficult boss, so be careful of his ground pound attacks. He also spawns multiple skeletons as well by throwing coins on the floor. He also has both a sword and a long range attack with a gun, so be careful. Once you finally defeat the gold hoarder, you will retrieve his skull, as well as have this pretty little cutscene at the end of the tall tale.
Now this is what I like to see. A grand adventure, a fight to the death, and a great big pile of treasure.
Now the main part of the tall tale has been complete. You need to head out of the throne room, back up some stairs and through a waterfall to get back to the main part of the island. You'll need to head back to your boat and sail away from the shores of gold. Once again, the shroud breaker will do its weird shiny light thing until you're far enough away that it will explode and disappear. Once this has happened, sail to the nearest outpost and sell the gold hoarder's skull the Order of Souls to cash it in for a pretty penny. And there you have it, you killed the Gold Hoarder. Now you're going to be wanting to know where all those journals are, aren't you? The first thing you're going to need to know is that they're all on the same island. The second thing you're definitely going to need to know is that you need to start the tall tale to be able to sail to the island and spawn the journals. That way then when you do find them, they count towards the commendation for finding them all. Let's go journal hunting! So like I mentioned before, all the journals can be found on the same island. Thank goodness for that. The first one can be found on the shipwreck to the east of the island. You can find it in the captain's quarters. For the second journal, you take a northern heading from the shipwreck you just found the first journal in, and you follow this route. This is one of the ways to get to the compass vault. However, on the way to the compass vault, if you look left between the two crates, you'll find one of the journals. The third journal you will find in some crates to the right as you enter the compass vault. You can find the fourth journal in the temple ruins where you find one of the symbols for the boat vault. If you walk past the lever that you pull to lower the door and look to the right behind some rubble, you will find the journal. Journal number 5 can be a right pain in the bum as it requires once again some awesome cannoneering skills. You will need to park your ship here and fire yourself from a cannon to land on the statue here. The journal will be located on the left hand of the statue. Now this is a tricky shot, so don't be disheartened if it takes several attempts to hit. The 6th journal can be found as soon as you open up the belly of gold. As you go through the open door, look to your left inside some crates and you will find the journal. Journal number 7 can be found in the first room you enter after entering the belly of gold. Once in the room surrounded by rocks and debris, head to the far right corner by some glowing mushrooms. Follow the small path around behind some wooden planks and next to some more debris you will find the journal. You can find journal number 8 after walking across the masts. You can find it in a crate to the left as you touch down on secure land. Journal number 9 can be found at the far end of the lever room where you will have to jump on top of one of the braziers to land on top of the platform. The journal can be found amongst some debris on this platform next to some spikes. Journal number 10 can be found at the end of this walkway on top of a wooden crate. And there you have it, the Shores of Gold completed 100%. That means all the journals and the Gold Hoarder has been defeated. If you complete it a few more times, you will get the 100% commendation as well. And like I said, if you did like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the little bell so you'll know every time I post a new video. I also stream regularly on Twitch, and you can find me on all other sources of social media. But in the meantime, you take care, and I'll see you online. Cheers.